on my mother's side, we are actually related to the Windsor family.
Really nice bacon cheeseburger for starter.
If Zoe Deschanel would love to come into the podcast, I will look after you very, very dearly. It's nice when both guests as well and Sam, where you're chatting for about an hour and you don't really realise you're chatting for about an hour.
I've just been trying to almost attack the darkness, like getting up quite early, going out, running.
I'm a trustee of a new foundation. Welcome back to episode 3 of series 2 of Prop Up the Bar with Chief and Goat. It's been quite a fun last 2 weeks. Chief, what's your opinion been on our 2 guests?
2 guests have been absolutely outstanding. It's been a good couple of weeks, hasn't it? Like, really kicks it up a notch with 2 outstanding guests. I think it's really confused both of us as to what series we're in and where it is episode-wise, because for anyone listening to this one now, we haven't started series 3. But if you do go back to last week, you at the end of last week didn't know who we were talking to this week and announced that we were back this week for series 3.
Oh, did I say series
episode 3? So I think it's just confusing us all, the fact that we've managed to be, we come back for a second series, and then we've just finished the second series, 2 episode second series. This is series 3. But no, this is episode 3. But 2 really good creative guests, trying to become a home for the creatives.
Well, we are, and I think we had our fun in series. Not that series 2 isn't going to be fun and hasn't been fun so far, but when people have asked questions about this series, I've just said, well, it's almost a new podcast. And when I'm talking to agents out there and different artists in different, don't laugh because I have been.
I was smiling because I wasn't laughing.
All right. But yeah, I mean, I have kind of said we have a series 1, which feel free to listen to, but we have kind of rebranded a bit. And obviously we had Olo on first, Ola the Bib, who is incredibly funny. It was nice. It's nice when both guests as well and Sam, where you're chatting for about an hour and you don't really realise you're chatting for about an hour. You just chat away, and obviously Sam's a Nottingham lad. Grew up around Nottingham, definitely. He lives here now, and he is just a massively interesting bloke to listen to as well, and his view of the world is extremely different to that of a lot of people I know, and that's in a good way, not in a not in a weird way, but that's what you kind of get with authors. So no, it's good. We've got next week we've got our old mate back, haven't we? We've got Kyle Wolf, the comedian that made a brief. That was a long episode in our first one. That was our first ever guest. So he's coming back next week. We're going to catch up with him to see what he's been up to. Because obviously he managed to get back into doing some comedy, and then obviously we're in lockdown 2 again. So 2.0. It's been better than 1.0, but obviously the versions have to keep getting better. But yeah, we'll get Kyle on next week. We haven't got a guest this week though, so. Well, I think this week we just need to kind of let everyone know what's been going on in our lives. Because I think people are actually relatively interested in us. Well, in me. I'm not sure how interested they really are in you. So don't give me puppy eyes, Dan.
I'm not. I'm like gazing at you, waiting to hear all the fun stuff that's been happening in your life.
I was going to ask you first. Do you want to tell them what you've been doing?
What can you do in lockdown 2? I've been lucky to keep working, and because the players are back, I've been going into Trent Bridge quite a bit. I've done 4 days this week, all of them at Trent Bridge. I'm off tomorrow because I'm doing 4 days a week. So yeah, and then lots of running, this is kind of a time where a lot of people can kind of like get maybe a bit down because it's dark really early, and a bit further down because of lockdown 2. But I've just been trying to almost attack the darkness, like getting up quite early, going out, running, coming out in the morning, running and smashing some PBs really. So that's been.
So what's your latest PB over what distance then, Robert?
Tuesday night I went and did a 5k in 22:10, which was probably a couple of minutes off my PB. There's if I get to a place around me, it's the flattest bit you can do. So I run to a point and then turn around and run back, having done a walk warm up. and I ran it. I think it was 7-10 minute miles and stuff like that. So it was my fastest mile, my fastest K, my fastest 5K. And then over the last weekend, I did my fastest 15K and 10 mile.
That's a bit ridiculous. I think your fastest 10 mile might be my average speed in an Uber for 10 miles, especially around Nottingham with the way you have to drive. That's pretty good. I mean, exercise is definitely good. Good for the heart, good for the mind, good for the soul. What else has been going on? Anything interesting? Ready for Christmas yet? Are you in the Christmas spirit? Because what I have noticed is there's a lot of people getting into the Christmas spirit now. Like, people have got trees up now, presents have been bought, decks are up. So are you in the Christmas spirit, Chief?
Yeah, I feel so. I'd normally like it to be a bit later, but this year's everything kind of just get the Christmas cheer up, get the lights up. Came back today, Mum's put the tree up, the big tree up. We've had a little tree up in one room already. That's been there for about a week. Big tree's up now. There's a funny little video I'm working on around Christmas that should come out over the weekend. So
I look forward, because you are somewhat nifty. You giggled there. Should I be worried about this video, or is it of your mum putting up a Christmas tree?
No, it's of me. It's of me. I'm mostly going to be, but it's one that I think has been done a little bit on TikTok, but I've taken my own version of it as well. So,
we'll look forward to that. We'll get that on the socials. Get hashtagging, getting that spread around the world of Prop Up the Bar. So that'd be fun.
how about you, mate? Apart from growing, I'm going to say it again, even though it does make me throw up in my mouth, the handlebars of love.
Handlebars of love.
Which I have donated to, and I hope everyone else does who's listening as well. And what else have you been up to? You're, I think, a mentor of a new program of sorts.
So I'm a trustee of a new foundation called the Hike with Mike Foundation. So it'd be somewhat of interest to you as well, Dan, because the premise of the Hike with Mike Foundation is basically raising money to support those who can't access any support from the NHS or need somewhat different support from the NHS, because actually for people suffering from mental health, kind of, it isn't a one-size-fits-all kind of treatment that's needed. Unfortunately, some people can do it with medication, some people can chat it out with people, some people need both, but it's not always accessible to everyone in society because of various different political government guidelines and criteria and stuff. And it never, I understand that criteria never fits. It can't fit everyone in. It has to be cut off somewhere, which is fine. But foundations like us at the Hike with Mike Foundation will kind of open up that support for people who are struggling. And the way we're going to raise money is pretty simple, really, is we're going to organise hikes in various locations around the UK, and it kind of costs around between £10 and £15 to join. And we'll do an organised hike, but them hikes are going to be kind of themed, not like we used to do our bar crawls at Ocean, not that type of theme, unfortunately. Well, we could do a Cops and Robbers theme. Yes, Dan, what your hand is up.
Is Mike going to be there?
Mike is going to be there. So
I see what you did with the name now. I see why the name's called Hike with Mike. It's good.
It's good. So yeah, so the theme, so the themes will be kind of, it could be like businesses might want to use it for a networking piece with local companies in the area, or it could be like a singles event, or just you move to an area, you want to meet new people. So, and obviously being outside has been scientifically proven to kind of boost all the positiveness in your body, and being outside, having some exercise is good. And a good like 10-15 mile walk is possible. They're not all going to be kind of mega long. There'll be some which are like 5 miles, because a lot of people will want to walk but can't walk certain distances, and so on. So that'd be good. It all started back with Mike, actually. So Mike used to work at the same company. Funny that, isn't it, really? So Mike used to work at the same company as me. He's a really good friend of mine, a big heart for everyone. And so I think it's like the 20th of January or something like that. So 4 days after my birthday is supposedly the most depressed time of the depressed day of the year, or the gloomiest day of the year, or something like that. The 20th of January. And Mike started by just reaching out to his immediate team at work, saying, right, let's go for a walk. And then word got round, and there was something like 66 people that went, and a lot of money was raised to go towards the Mind charity, which is a mental health charity as well. So, but obviously with the Hike with Might Foundation, when we've got the money, we can kind of dish it out to the places we need to. We can ring fence it a little bit differently and stuff. So, yeah, that's going to be exciting. It's something that I'm very passionate about. I wouldn't be doing the Handlebars of Love, which I did tell Movember that's what I called it. Didn't get a response back from them, which is quite sad, really, because I think the Handlebars of Love is definitely a feature which has legs for a lot of people. So who knows?
I don't think they've given you a response, but I think they've definitely put you on some sort of watch list.
Yeah, especially I didn't change my jumper before we started recording. But if you're...
He's in his prison jumpsuit.
Yeah, if you're a YouTube watcher or Pop Up the Bar, you'll see that I'm in a plain grey kind of tracksuit jumper, which makes me look like an inmate. There have been more noise of Charlie Brown. It's not Charlie Brown, it's Charles Bronson being banded around. So I should have taken an outfit check before we started recording. No, but yeah, so that's going to be good. The Handlebars of Love, that's coming to the end of November. Now, obviously, it ends at the end of November, which is ironic, really. And also, we record this on International Men's Day as well, which has a huge focus around men's health, men's mental health. It's an interesting one. Well, I was on a webinar at work about International Men's Day and kind of killed some myths on it about what it's about. It isn't the same as International Women's Day, especially if you're a white man, but obviously there are still minorities within the male social groups. So yeah, so November is a big month. So starting the Hike with Might Foundation, doing November, and International Men's Day is really highlighting the kind of the risks of being a man in a situation like this, because we're crap at talking. And obviously because of the nature of this, we'll put some links and some numbers in kind of headlines to in the post story, so you can, if you need to chat to someone, you can. And even if you want to reach out to one of us, if you feel comfortable when you want to speak to one of us, and you can, we'll share I did a video about my story. We'll share that on the Prop Up the Bar pages as well, just to highlight some of the stuff why it's passionate to me. But yeah, so that's really, really exciting. Apart from me being good and kind of helping others, my 2.0 has been pretty quiet so far. Watched a bit of rugby, drank a bit of beer, attempted to go for a run the other day. My shoulder and my knee can't hack it. So back to square one of being Tubby Tom with his Handlebars of Love.
Are you running?
Pardon?
How are you running?
How am I running?
Yeah.
One leg in front of the other.
Okay. I'm just wondering whether you were just vigorously putting some shoulder action into it as well.
See, the thing is, when I run, I do kind of roll my shoulders a bit, and I don't really know where it comes from. I think it's kind of the southeastern swag, the painfulness of wanting to be a cockney. Sometimes you kind of bop around like you're ready to scrap with someone in a flat cap and some tweed jacket. I'm not, although I might look like it at the minute. But yeah, I mean, there's been some stuff which has obviously annoyed me in lockdown, Dan.
Yes, we're back. We will be going back to what's probably been the best feature of Series 2 soon as well, because I've got another Chiefs Corner just for you today.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
That's fine. Do you want to do... Should we... let's... we went a bit serious then. Should we do your corner before we winding gears?
Yeah, and these are for you to answer, and anyone's answers at home as well, to be fair. So I think we've had some brilliant answers over the first two. Just like from just really random questions, just trying to live in ancient Rome or the history of the Nubians, stuff like that I did not expect whatsoever. So are you related or distantly related to anyone famous?
Yes. Weirdly, actually am. Not for those who know me who would guess it is any of the famous Ryans. Ryan isn't actually the birth family surname. So I'm not famous to any Ryans, but on my mother's side, we are actually related to the Windsor family. So we do have, sorry, I'm just opening a beer. We do have some royal blood in us, which is quite interesting considering people who know me. I don't think it's something that people would expect from me. But yeah, loosely related to the Queenie herself.
I can't believe that story's not come out before. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's not something I really think about much, if I'm honest. It's just, it was literally, I spoke to my nana about it the other day, again, because a few years ago she did a family tree thing and she worked out that it was on my great nana's side. It's through that way, but yeah. So slightly royal.
How far are you down the list to the throne? Just need to know where I need to start worrying, where I need to evacuate the country.
I've already abdicated. I've already said that I don't think it's my scene, really. A fair few people would have had to have... they need to all be going on a family holiday and something serious happened.
You being designated survivor.
Yeah, I mean, about 49, 50 other people need to be on holiday before I get a shout, I think. But, yeah.
Weirdly, not linked whatsoever, and this is just the second question that I had, but follows on quite nicely now. If you were the ruler of your own country, what would be the first law you would introduce?
First ruler, if I was a ruler of my country.
Yeah.
So I was Prime Minister or King of England, is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm asking, yeah.
That's an interesting one, isn't it, actually? I don't know. I think it would have to be... Well, there's a few, actually. Obvious one, I'd have to slash the tax on beer. I think if you're buying more than a certain amount in a pub, you just pay tax. But if you're just getting a few tinnies from the offie, not sure you need to pay tax on that, really. That's kind of one for more self-gain more than anything. But do you know what I would do? I do like, as much as I am an advocate for mental health in both men and women, I would also like there to be stricter rules about keeping animals, because I know we're coming up to Christmas, and those who are thinking about it, the dog isn't just for fucking Christmas. If I see anyone putting any dogs on the street, I'm battering them. And I'm serious about that. Look at me. I look hard. I am hard, all right? Yeah, but I just think there's too many people that have access to things they can't. Mainly, you look at the person, that, if you see these kind of in the press, like in The Sun or the Daily Mirror or something like that, and it's about a lad that, or a couple that have been seen putting puppies in a bin bag and putting them in the river, whatever, they often look like they can't look after themselves, which I think is a pretty basic thing. If you can't look after yourself, or if someone judges you that you can't look after yourself, you can't get any form of animal to look after.
Well, I think it's got to go yourself, a plant, animal, and then you're allowed a baby after that.
I do think some people shouldn't be. I mean, I can't speak really and say some people shouldn't have babies, because there'll be people out there that want babies and can't, but there are seriously some people that need to be able to rethink their life. That is, before we go further though, have you noticed a lot of people become plant mums and plant parents over lockdown? And these plants they're getting, right, we'll come back to this, because I'm going to do it now. It's not me grinding my gears now. You can't call yourself a plant mum. One, they don't need parents, right? They're plants. They need looking after, they need sustaining, that's it. Secondly, the plants people are buying aren't plants that need watering once a day and feeding and stuff. These are plants which are built and they've adapted to survive for like a month without water. And people are still killing them. Like, how? What do you have to do? Are you watering it with vodka or something? Like, what are you doing with it? Anyway.
I thought I was doing a really good thing when I was going back into the office after lockdown 1. I was going back in June, July. I was watering one of my friends' plants in the office. And then I went in one day. I'd been in a few days, and just at the end of the day, I just kind of poured the end of my water in a bottle over it and just thought nothing really of it. And it's in like another plant bit at the bottom. And then I go in, and then I just walk over, just about to water it again. And like there's some paper that's for like an event that's just got like, or crippled and started growing things on it. And I'm like, what's happened here? What's that? What on earth's happened? Then I realised that water was just pissing out the bottom of this plant because I'd overwatered the plant and it was just everywhere on the desk.
So you shouldn't get any pets.
No. I learned my lesson. I've got 3 plants here. Another one on my windowsill. So
It's cute.
more succulent than anything. If you had a warning label, what would yours say?
I was once described as the alcoholic gremlin. Because in the film Gremlins, if they add water, they get a bit mental, don't they? Is it Gremlins? It is, isn't it?
I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, I think someone's going to correct me if I'm wrong, and I would be really embarrassed. But I'm pretty sure Gremlins is a film, and they're relatively cute-ish as far as a gremlin can go. But then if they touch water, they go a bit evil. Their ears get massive and stuff. So that might be one of them. Be wary to add beer. Yeah, before I say anything which is going to incriminate me, we'll stick with that one, I think. So I was going to come up with something and then remember this wasn't me sitting in a pub having a joke.
You run in a quiz on Saturday night, which I'm looking forward to, and you also do fastest finger after them. So what song would you say best sums you up?
Well, there's a few. One of the obvious ones would be Lip Up Fatty by Bad Manners, which is pretty much just Lip Up Fatty is one of the is just repeated. What song would sum me up? I don't know, actually. I think there's a few like Milkshake that obviously would sum me up because it does bring many boys to the yard. What song do you think would sum me up? Because I feel like with that question, you kind of premeditated an answer. Have you not?
No idea. I didn't have an answer premeditated whatsoever. No.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, we'll go with Lip Up Fatty.
We'll put it out to the group later.
Yeah.
And just continuing on the musical theme, if you could join any past or current music group, which one would you join?
You know the answer to this one. I would 100% join Madness. I'm trying to build a body. By build a body, I mean change mine. So I look like I could be in a ska band. I don't think I'm too far off, especially as a skinhead. I'm not a skinhead, not in the traditional term anyway. But yeah, Madness. It's a fun band. Not everyone knows all their songs. People obviously know One Step Beyond and Baggy Trousers. And they're songs that if you're at a wedding, they come on, and it's even Nana Doris is up in her 80s with a T-shirt above her head. She's often one. So yeah, it's a fun band, isn't it, Madness? I'd be in Madness.
There we go. That's the end of Chiefs Corner for this week. Some good answers again there.
I do like your corner. I like the way you've named it because you didn't run that past me. There's a few things we
run handlebars of love past me, just to put that out there for any viewers. I did not sign off on that. I just keep saying it to give it promo.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I feel like because this is for charity, I'm allowed to call it the handlebars of love. But you're just kind of self-indulging yourself in Chiefs Corner.
I mean, it has been good.
Chiefs Corner is fun, and I didn't actually know you were going to do Chiefs Corner to this week, so thank you for bringing that to the table. I was thinking about this the other day. I've not actually written any down, but I only got 2 or 3 questions for you. But as we were in your corner, do you give me permission to take over your corner?
Yes, it's very kind of you to actually ask, because this time last week you told me to, right, that's your fun done, get back to your corner.
I've got no one else to talk to this week, have I? So I've got to go with talking to you. That's not the table. So I listen, and I have listened for a long time, to lots of different podcasts. And one of my favourite podcasts is, I'm going to say it so we can tag them in the post, Off Menu, with Ed Gamble and James Acaster, available on all podcast platforms. Extremely funny, but they ask their guests their dream starter, main course, and dessert. Now, it wouldn't be in the sense. I guess we did this last week for you, did we? Or did we just do?
No, I think I did it for you two. You and Sam were close, I think.
Yeah. So I think this is probably why it came to mind, because you did it. This isn't kind of. I don't want your death row dinner. I want you. You can have anything in the world. You'll never get full up. You'll just always be perfectly satisfied. What would your favourite starter, main course, and dessert be?
You see, I think I'd cheat the system a little bit, because I think I'd go like how they sometimes do on I'm a Celebrity for their last meals, on like when they've done the 3 and they can choose their starter main. Some of them chose like a main that is a starter. So I think I'd just have 2 starters, because I don't really like many starters. So I think I'd probably go maybe a really nice bacon cheeseburger for starter with curly fries, and then some sort of meaty pizza for main, and then chocolate gatto or chocolate brownie or something like that for dessert.
Oh. Do you know what? Chocolate gatto isn't something you often see anymore, is it?
No, I've not had it for ages. I'd usually just have it like if I went to, when I was still playing cricket, a function at the end of the year.
Yeah,
that'd be the dessert that I'd pick. But I think that's the only place I've ever seen it.
It is such a cricket, isn't it? Gatto. It's one of them things that when I saw it written down when I was younger, I didn't know it said gatto. I think Gatex or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah. When you take
chocolate
everything
Gatex,
so
please.
Yeah.
It's it's like when your granddad calls a gilet a gillet. It's always nice and heartwarming. Another one. This is so obviously I host another podcast called Paz Pod. It's about rugby. If you're interested in rugby, don't kind of do that. I was trying to get listeners from both ends to come over and merge.
You've not mentioned that before.
So obviously you are as well, but I'm a single Pringle ready to socially distance mingle. So I am on the dating app Hinge, just to see what's out there. And on Hinge, you ask questions. So there's questions on your profile. So what I would like to, so I thought I'm going to run through some questions to see if we'd match.
Have you put me down as a reference yet?
On my Hinge?
Yeah.
Not yet, no. Run out of characters, and I do think that'd be a great addition to dating apps, wouldn't it? At the corner, references upon request.
It's your dating CV, so you may as well.
You know, scrap that. What would your reference be for me? I don't want to know about you. We'll do Hinge questions next week with our guest. But I will have some good answers for that. What would your if this random woman, lovely lady, metaphorically, hypothetically, sorry, not metaphorically lovely, if you got an email from Hinge going, you're required to provide a reference for a go Ryan, for Tom Ryan, need less than 100 words, how would you sum me up?
I've not got 100 words for you. Funny, kind, loving guy, will do anything for you, will make you laugh 9 times out of 10. Sometimes has a shit joke in him.
Only 9?
Yeah, because you have a shit joke in you. I called you out on in the group. I can't remember what it was. Oh, Scotch egg.
That was great.
Which did me laugh a little bit, but I decided I was going to try and throw you under the bus.
I think it's a shit joke.
But no.
People have seen Scotch egg around. I would give yours, but it's going to be very rare that you need a reference. No, I think it'd be similar. I think what what lovely ladies need to realise that probably we don't come as a 2. To the term, we don't come as a 2, but there'll be times that we overlap and mates become more important at points.
Package deal, innit?
Average, it's a bang average deal.
No, I said package deal.
Oh, Well, I stand by my comment. I think it's a bang average deal. Nothing much. Anyway, let's move away from us two trying to get each other romantic partners and then realising that we're the only person for the other.
Yeah, I wouldn't go through the Hinge questions because we may as well just get married now.
Let's move on as quickly as possible. So, lockdown 2.0. I thought, being locked away, I wouldn't have many things to get wound up about. But what's happened?
I don't know, but we did find out a couple of episodes ago, just to plug episode 1, that Ola had nearly washed her clothes with washing up. No. What was it? I got it wrong.
Washing dishwasher tabs.
Dishwasher tablets. But she did stop short of it, so I'm looking forward to hearing this one. Okay, probably the next Carl Wolf may have done whatever you've done now, or be angry about what you've done now.
I know Carl quite well, and he definitely would have done similar, if not exactly the same. But that kind of leads me on to what grinds my gears quite well. I just dislike it when someone, could be anyone, I'm going to use me as an example in this, though. When someone makes a mistake and people think it is inappropriate at every possible moment to bring that up as a form of comedy. Just because I've made a few mistakes in my life, lots of mistakes in my life, a few mistakes in my life doesn't mean they can be brought up and brought up. It's just bad banter. This is what grinds my gears. It's people with banter which just isn't funny. You ever see it on Facebook when people on Lab Bible, they think this story is funny, they put a little funny joke and they're just not funny. And I think people who aren't funny should just not try and bother. Is that bad?
Leave it to the funny blokes and gals.
And that's why you should stay as far away from comedy as possible. I feel some people might be like, oh, but it brings joy to their life, and in times of sorrow and darkness and like this, I'm saying this as a trustee of the Mental Health Foundation, but I don't care. If you're not funny, I don't want to know. There'll be people listening to this that go, Tom, you aren't funny, which is fine. I'm not pulling anyone up on it directly. I'm just highlighting it to the group that there's some people that we know very well who think certain things are funny, which just aren't. Not mentioning any names. Daniel Robbins. I'm just not. It's not my fault. I accidentally used dishwasher tablets when washing my clothes.
Yeah, I think your problem is that you're just not as funny as me, and you have to take me.
As you?
Yeah.
In what sense?
Just every sense, really.
I would like you to expand a bit more, please.
I don't need to justify my hilarity.
Hilarity.
Side-splitting laughter.
Okay. Well, clearly that's what you provide to this podcast. Just wanted to, before I do my good news story for the end, I do think it'd be appropriate because obviously lockdown 2.0, being locked down to Electric Avenue.
It's like they sponsor us. It's like that Lockdown 2.0 is our first sponsor because we just keep mentioning it.
It would be quite funny if we got money off the government every time we mentioned lockdown to keep people inside. After listening to this, I fear people may want to go outside for a walk very quickly. What most people do in lockdown, they watch stuff. We're not going to talk about your favourite Nudie Rudy films to watch, but have you got any watch recommendations off Netflix or Amazon Prime or anything like that at the moment? What are you watching?
I'm watching New Girl all the way through again at the moment, which is a funny comedy. I love that.
Is that because we were talking about it on Saturday?
No, I'd been watching it before that. So I caught it. It had all gone on Netflix. I'd been watching Modern Family.
That's right.
But then moved over to New Girl because Modern Family only had 7 series on it. And then I've not watched New Girl for quite a while.
Have you done? I do New Girl. I'm still watching New Girl as well. I watched it at Ashley, who came on, watched it at their house. Well, I'd been watching it here and then watched it at their house, got them hooked. So they're hooked on it as well. So
How are they?
if Zoe Deschanel would love to come onto the podcast, I will look after you very, very dearly.
I mean, have you watched it all the way through already? Have you seen
Yes.
all of New Girl? Okay, and has Ash and John seen all of New Girl?
No.
Have we told them to stop after season 6?
No.
Because I don't like the last season.
No. I mean, they'll listen to this. They'll find out. One thing I did promise I would mention, we do need to share it on our page, is Ash, who came on, TV and radio fanatic, that's the wrong word, personality. You can vote for her to become Miss England in the wild card voting. So what we'll do is we'll put that up. Ashley Tuttle, vote for Ash. It'd be good to actually have her on the podcast with some form of title as opposed to just our mate Ash. So the deal is she'll only come back on if she wins this, because that way she'll be doing interesting things which are famous.
I mean, 1 minute, I just need to phone a friend. And here's...
She's not doing that again. It wasn't funny the first time, was it? Wasn't funny the first time. No. But yeah, we'll do that. My watch recommendation is it's just gone completely out of my mind, but it's a new series. What we'll do is we'll skip past the series, and I'll tell you what a good film we could watch. We're not going to watch it together. You could watch. If you've not seen Lone Survivor, on Amazon Prime, very, very good film. Mark Wahlberg's in it. He's part of a specialist crew. I think he's probably Navy SEALs. And in Afghan, it's a very tense, very good film, rated 4.5 on Amazon out of 5. So that's good. So that's good. Would you like to know good news? It got a bit waffly there. You can edit some of that out. Do you want to know the good news story for this one?
Let's finish on a good news story. It's always the best way to finish, isn't it? Apart from singing out.
We're not doing that. So I got a lovely message from, well, it wasn't lovely at the point, actually. I got a message from my friend Jenny. Jenny and me have a passion for a certain animal, and weirdly a guilty pleasure. I didn't realise we had the same kind of admiration for the guilty pleasure of a TV presenter, but I got a message from Jenny going, put on ITV yesterday. So that's on ITV. And Paul O'Grady, firstly, don't know why he's a guilty pleasure of mine, just love the big POG. Paul O'Grady was in an alpaca field and they were doing alpaca yoga. So my good news story, it's not really a good news story, it's a feel-good thing, but you can do yoga, breathing in, breathing out, going into your downward dog, into your praying mantis. Don't know what that is, don't know if that's
walk like an Egyptian.
That's walk like an Egyptian, but if you do the thing is, it might be just like a lobster. I can't do yoga anyway. I've not tried it in a while, but I couldn't imagine anything more wholesome than doing that and having a little alpaca just trot up to you, kind of nuzzle in, say hello and stuff. Because you can also do it with baby goats. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Kids, yesterday I was describing the baby goat yoga to my housemates and forgot to say baby goats and just called them kids, and there was no reference to it at all. So I said, yeah, you could do yoga and have kids climb on your back. Obviously I meant the kid being the baby goat. By baby goat I don't mean my kid, which is a weird cycle to have got myself in, which I can't find the way off. I feel like I'm on a merry-go-round going extremely bloody quickly.
I'll save you. Have you watched Modern Family as well?
Are we back to this?
No, because there's a link here.
Okay, yeah, I have.
So one of my favourite scenes in that is Phil walking home and saying, I don't make good decisions under pressure. And he just walked home saying, I've got us an alpaca. I bought it. It was the last one.
No, I have seen that clip. Yeah. I like that.
Had a link, you see, and it saved you from your spiral.
Saved me from the downward spiral, which has been going on for about 8 years. Chief, so next week, like we said, The return of Kyle Wolf makes it sound like some weird Netflix crime documentary. The return of Kyle Wolf. He's a lovely bloke. He's allegedly not done anything wrong. It'd be good to have him back on, chat comedy, chat lockdown 2.0, chat lots of things. Hopefully we've got some other people coming on in the not too distant future. Got some poets lined up, hopefully some actors. We've got a musician lined up, someone who used to be in soaps, and so we've got lots of interesting people lined up. If you know anyone who you think would be good value on the podcast, we are always open to ideas, especially because not a lot of people are responding when they realise we don't have a budget. So, that should be my pet peeve. We go finding gears, but at the same time, I get it. It's lockdown. We need to make $8. But yeah, if you would like, even if you would like to come on and you feel like you've got some value to add, send us why, and we'll get you on. Even if it is just you started a new company and you want to share your new company around, maybe you've started doing like sweet boxes or something like that. We'll just make this into a nice wholesome podcast for people to listen to and spread everyone's kind of gifts around the world. Probably around Nottinghamshire to start, and probably around Notts to start. But yeah, get in contact. You can always get in contact with us anyway, but you can watch us on YouTube if you might be doing that, or you could even be currently listening to us on Spotify or on Apple, on Deezer, on Amazon, or on Google Podcasts, along with lots of other stuff. But follow us on Instagram. Obviously, Prop Up the Bar with Chief and Gate. Search that, will come up, and on Facebook as well. So thank you very much for listening. Chief, thank you very much for your corner. Thank you very much for attending.
You're welcome, as always.
I know, always a pleasure, never a chore. So Dan, I'm not rising to you, so it's been lovely, and we will catch up next week.
Do, 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 do.
You know what I said about people never leaving a joke in the past when it should have been? Perfect example.
See you later.